The app that stole Christmas has a fantastic premise that I thought would be a really great idea. Unfortunately, that's where the film stops being good, because everything else about it is a massive letdown, and while the premise is good, I feel like in execution it doesn't deliver what it says it will, and there are so many things about this that I just did not get what they were trying to do or why they would have made that decision. There's actually a review on IMDb just now. Unfortunately, the username is just a string of random letters, so I can't really say who it's by. But they summed it up by saying, felt like something we'd made in high school media class. And it does. It feels like, well, it feels cheap. And, there's nothing wrong with films being filmed on a budget. I don't actually know what the budget was. But there are a lot of amazing films that have been filmed on a shoestring that look and feel fantastic. This one, regardless of how much it did or did not cost, feels cheap. It's only 63 minutes as well, which I know the length of a film doesn't matter, but it's too long to really be considered a short, but too short to feel like a fully developed, well-rounded narrative, and that's certainly not what it is. So the timing is a bit of a concern, actually, rather than, just a matter of fact. It's actually a problem because it's underdeveloped, and that's definitely the case here. So what it's about, and this is something that sounds really interesting, Felix creates this app that makes Christmas shopping exceptionally easy, and this app is doing fantastically well. But it starts to ruin the spirit of Christmas because people are obsessed with it. It's ruining the magic of Christmas, reducing interaction and communication. And for me, the message there would be technology is great, but don't lose the true meaning and spirit of Christmas and what it means to be around family during the holidays. But it doesn't do a good job at delivering that message. And I feel like, had I not read the premise on wherever I read it beforehand, I think Netflix, I would have spent the majority of the film going, what are you trying to achieve? What is the message you're trying to deliver? And whatever it was trying to do, I assume that's the message it was trying to give. For the most part, it fails miserably. There is one scene that's a little bit emotional and quite sentimental, and I thought it was quite fitting. But it's also quite an extreme length it went to try and relay that message. It didn't do it very successfully. It didn't need to be so extravagant. I can't say what scene it is because I don't want to spoil anything in case you do want to watch this, but it's a scene quite near the end that kind of results in a pivotal moment where the character has a moment of realization. The acting is fine. I've seen some comments saying that the acting is bad. To be honest, I don't think the acting is that bad. I certainly don't think it's full of Oscar-winning performances, but I feel like certainly with our protagonists there is passion behind their performance. I can kind of feel that, and I feel like they did a decent enough job. I never felt the acting was too wooden. It's directed by Monica Floyd and written by Peter John and Miriam Bavly. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The dialogue is, again, fine, not engaging, but not cringy. I thought the dialogue was okay. Camera work is fine, nothing to write home about, but nothing that made me feel queasy or uncomfortable. It just lets itself down with a really poor narrative that could have been so poignant. And again, if this had been, let's say, a Fox or Warner Brothers or Paramount big budget production, I feel like they would have executed that message so perfectly, and it really would have touched everybody, because we all have, the majority of us tend to get wrapped up in the things that are not important about Christmas, and it would have had a really cliche but really important modernized message. But even on a shoestring budget, that's not that difficult to do, and they just failed to hit that mark. If you're interested in watching it, I'd say give it a go. It is an hour, so you're not really going to lose much time. But personally, I'd say it had a nice message to deliver. It just failed to deliver it.